All right, well, welcome to California Lockdown. I haven't done this in a few days. If you've watched any of the previous episodes that I've done, California's been under shelter at home since the 20th of March. So right now we're on day 12. So things are changing rapidly, as you know. And I don't know where you are. You could be anywhere in the country. You could be right here local. I don't know. I've been getting on Facebook, like many of you, and I've been doing live Facebook and talking to the local people for the most part. This is just for my YouTube channel, and you can subscribe if you like. It's not the point of this thing. I'm trying to quell the panic right now. For those of you that have seen the previous episodes that I've done, that's my goal. I'm trying to keep you from panicking, okay? I know things are changing rapidly. We just had a huge announcement yesterday by the Trump task force team. Many of you know this already. This could be old news for you, but I just quickly running through the numbers. They gave a, what do I call it, a curve number of approximately 100,000 to 240,000 fatalities possible for the U.S. Now, that number is changing day to day, of course, but it was the most solid numbers really that they've given out so far. This is looking at all the models, the worldwide models, what the information that they got from China, Italy, and now the U.S. numbers are starting to really come in. And so it's the first time they've really given a pretty solid number of what we can expect between now and July, anywhere from 100,000, kind of best case scenario is what they're saying now, to 240,000 likely. So somewhere in that range. You know, it could change. So that's sobering numbers for a lot of people. That was very sobering to me to see those numbers. So some things in the news recently was Sweden. They've decided to, as they say, let her rip and let the coronavirus do what it may. And they've put nothing in place. There's no social distancing policies put down. You know, Sweden's a really super liberal country, always has been, so all eyes will be on Sweden to see how this plays out. And their policies may change, who knows, but that's of today. And today is April 1st. No, this is not April Fool's. No, this is not a bad dream. This is all real. The numbers from Italy are still coming in. Actually, good news from Italy. It appears they may have possibly have reached their crest of their curve, or at least they're at the top of their curve. It is starting to, the numbers are starting to drop. And again, that can change. Those are some of the main things. What I wanted to really put in perspective, hopefully, and I'm trying to put this in perspective for you, you do realize that we have over 650,000 people die of heart disease in the U.S. every single year. 650,000 people die every year. Heart disease, cancer, over 600,000 a year, every year. And I'm not doing this to be depressing, but I want you to put this in perspective, the numbers that were thrown out about coronavirus yesterday and versus these numbers. We have 100,000 people dying every year of diabetes alone. We have 50,000 suicides annually in the U.S. 50,000 people every single year, approximately. And again, the thing I keep mentioning, of course, is motor vehicles. 35,000 is the average annually for U.S. fatalities for motor vehicle accidents. Yes, you feel in control because you're in control, whereas this virus, you're not in control. There's no vaccine, and so yeah, I can see the difference. And yet, when you look at these numbers and the survivability rate of corona, which 98% survivability. I mean, those are facts. Okay, and those numbers, of course, are changing. So I know somebody can say, no, it's actually 96.7. Well, that's going to change tomorrow. So and it could be 99%. 88,000 annually from alcohol. So you know what that means? Stop. So, but are we? No. You're going to be living. You have to keep living. You're going to be driving your car. and you can sit and cower, and you can, and don't take me wrong, I'm talking about social distancing. I'm practicing that, and my family is. Absolutely. I believe in social distancing right now. Do I believe in government forcing us to do that? That's the issue, of course, for everybody. I believe in vaccinations. Forcing people to do vaccinations when the vaccine does come out a year and a half out, is it going to be mandatory or voluntary? We need to think about that. So maybe some of you would say, "Oh, of course I would get it." Well, other people maybe, "No, I don't want that, and that should be my choice." So those questions are coming. We're not there yet. So I'm not going to make this a really long one this morning because there's so much to talk about. I mean, just looking at the numbers alone, California, as it stands right now, we have around 100, a little over 180 fatalities in California. Of course, New York is hit. Right now they're at 1,700 and climbing. I think they actually, this morning, I thought I saw 2,000. They hit 2,000 deaths. In my county, San Luis Obispo County, where I'm at in California, which is hard hit, we have, last night we hit 80 cases in a county of 300,000, pretty small county, fairly rural. We do have some pockets of population, dense population. San Luis Obispo, okay. So we have 80 cases. We have 15, I believe, hospitalized out of those 80. 3 in ICU, 3 people total in ICU, no deaths as of April 1st, no deaths. So that number is probably going to change again, but no deaths, 80 cases in San Luis Obispo. There are over 40 million people living in California. So you have to look at these numbers and not panic and see, and just think, well, in perspective, in relation to all these other possibilities, this really is, yes, I realize 100,000 people, 200,000 people to die in the next 6 months. It's a big number, it's significant, and it's gonna strain the system, no doubt. But we are gonna get over this. Without a doubt, we are gonna get over this. We are gonna get a vaccine. We are going to beat this just like we beat polio. The US beat polio. We stopped measles. We're going to stop corona. Guaranteed. And just like you'll be getting your flu shot every year, it'll be the same thing. It'll be one more thing to worry about. But that's all it's going to be. Now, there's going to be some changes coming up, no doubt. And this is the civil liberties is what I want you guys to think about. When they're forcing you to stay in your home, when they're shutting down your small business, bankrupting you, I want you to think about these and think about those numbers. This is really important for us. This is the most important issue for us to, it's not our survivability of this virus, it's just survivability of us as a nation. We all need to come together right now, put the politics to the side. On my Facebook, live Facebook this morning and yesterday, I said, put the politics aside for right now, just for right now. We all need to come together. And yes, we maybe hate each other, we're backstabbing each other, we're hating each other, we're enemies, but we need to put all that aside for right now, and we need to come together and beat this thing and practice social distancing. You need to do it. If you're not doing it now, you need to do it. You need to take you need to take it serious. Now, I'm going to talk about the worst case scenario. Now, they've also came out with some other numbers yesterday, very sobering, that if we did nothing, like Sweden's doing right now, nothing at all, probably 1 million fatalities. Unacceptable number, right? Okay, so I agree with many of the policies they've had to put down, or the restrictions, because we cannot, that's not an acceptable number, 1 million people. 100,000, 200,000, okay, you know, with all these restrictions in place, okay, we can do this as a nation. I'm not saying you have to feel good about that. It's terrible when I say fatalities. It could be somebody you know. I'm probably going to lose a friend, an acquaintance, maybe a family member. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So anyway, there's hope. There's plenty of hope out there. Look at the recovery numbers. The recovery numbers are not getting reported like they should be. They're reporting more recoveries than deaths, obviously. So the one thing I know is it's God's in control, and God's glory will be revealed. That's all I'm going to say. God's glory will be revealed in all this. No doubt. Good things will come out of this, believe it or not. It's always darkest before the dawn. So take care, you guys.